Hey guys, how y'all doing? It's me, Johnny, and welcome back to another one of our beloved Sorare videos. First of all, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I really do appreciate it. I have a great time making this content, and it is amazing to see all the support that this content has been able to gather on the channel. So huge thank you to every single one of you who has come in onto this channel and has gone ahead and supported us the way that you guys have. If you guys do want to sign up for Sorare, please go ahead and use the link in the description down below. Once you do go ahead and use that link, sign up immediately. After you're signed up, click to the invite friends section, scroll all the way down, and it should say Johnny Sports here. Why is that important? It is important because if you then go ahead and buy 5 items off the market, it doesn't matter what scarcity they are going to be. If you buy them through bidding on them, you then will have another free limited item given to you. So if you don't do that, you will not be given a free item. So there is only an upside to using the link, and it really helps out the channel. So I really appreciate it, guys, if you do go ahead and do that. Now, today, what I want to talk about specifically is the topic that I already opened up in the last video, which was actually yesterday. I have now done my scouting. I have completed my team, and I want to showcase it to you guys. So game week 250, which starts on the 4th of March up until the 8th of March. This one is one of the most important game weeks and one of the most exciting game weeks we have ever had. And here's the reason why. It's scouting season. When you click into the mix section, you go to the weekly, and you see that the weekly competition is allowing uniques, super rares, rares, and limiteds. And also, one more thing to keep in mind, the percentage boosts that you have on your players do not play a role. So people that have unique items entering do not have a massive advantage over people that enter with limited items, which makes it so good. And the fact is, you can only use players who have a last 5 game average score of maximum 45. I have gone ahead and put together a team for myself that I'm genuinely excited about when it comes to this weekly. And I think, and I hope I might have a good chance of going ahead and getting something out of this. Let me show you the prize pool for this one first. The prize pool for the weekly special right now is 101st to 500 gets a tier 3 limited. So that will probably be like, what, 10, 15, 20 euros max. If you get lucky, maybe 30, 40. Then that you have, that's like, you can get like 0.01 ETH or 0.02 ETH. It's like threshold grind, basically. Then you have 51st to 100 gets a tier 3 rare, which is not too bad either. That can range up to like 200, 300 euros from my own experience. Then you have tier 3 super rares, which I don't know what the range is for them in terms of their value for 16th to 50th. Then you have the 4th to 15th getting themselves tier 2 super rares, which are going to be quite valuable because normally rare prices for players times 4, times 5 is around the number that super rares sell for. So if you have like a tier 2 rare in your club, just think about that one times 3, 4, 5. And that's basically the price for their super rares normally. At least that's from what I've heard. But yeah, that's very exciting. And then the most exciting part is that the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st can get unique. So this means people entering with limited items into this weekly competition where you can't use those high scorers, those Mbappes, those people that have L5s that are really inflated towards the 70s, 80s. Those types of players are not going to be eligible for this one. So people that do their scouting and do their research can go ahead and possibly win themselves unique items by just going ahead and entering with a team that is considerably cheaper than actually going ahead and playing the unique division and winning unique items. So this is huge. This is something that Sorare has done that, in my opinion, has been one of the best moves in the last few months. From what I've entered, I think this is the most exciting competition to enter in this upcoming game week, and I'm genuinely excited about that one. For this current game week, I do not have anyone that plays, so I don't have a single team for game week 249, but I am ready for game week 250 to attack it on all fronts, including the weekly as well. Now, let me show you who I have gone ahead and signed for this weekly competition. I am back into limiteds for this game week, and maybe even further than that. We'll see what happens. So let's begin with the goalkeeper that I have gone ahead and purchased. I have gone for players that I already have some experience with on Sorare, and some people that have been watching my Sorare content for a long time might know that I actually did go ahead and get myself Okan Koçuk early on as a limited item, and that was around these areas here where he was scoring really nice points, I believe, somewhere around these areas here. And ever since then, his performance has been going down lately. And even here, he has scored an own goal in the last game, which really caused this L5 to come crashing down. It is down to 28. Now, why am I picking him up? His opponent's score against Rize is a 56, first of all. But also, most importantly, this is something that you and I should be looking into. If we type in Giresun here into FODMob, we'll be able to see that Giresun is up against Rize in the next matchup. Now, I am aware that this is an away game. I normally wanted to bring in players that are playing at home, but that didn't really work out for me in this case. I felt like the battle between Giresun, who are 16th and fighting against relegation, up against Rizespor, who are in the relegation zone and need to push up there, that is going to be some battle. It's going to be extremely important for Giresun to defend well, to do well away from home. So I am fully expecting them to kind of sit back and try their best to defend as best as they can. And that will only benefit Okan Koçuk. And for that reason, because I do think that Giresun has a good chance of turning around this terrible form that they had. They have won their last game against Göztepe, who are currently just one position below them. That showcases that they really do want to avoid that bottom four situation in Turkey. Because of that reason, I have gone ahead and got myself Koçuk, a player that I personally have seen get really, really good scores. And I've paired him up with Mamadou Diarra, who is right in front of him playing in that defense. This kid is very solid, very consistent, capable of getting scores above the 60s. And even if they do concede, he gets like 49 points there. He gets 56 points there. So that just showcases to you that this man is actually really, really good at what he does. And his price for an under 23 is actually a bit mental. But obviously for the under 23s to win rewards, I am fully aware that you do need some really high scores. And lately, as you can see here in his scores, he has been struggling. But again, I wanted to have a defensive stack of Giresun here because I wanted to have some correlation for this one game week that we're going for. So if they do get a clean sheet, that's already 20 points on Koçuk and 10 points on Diarra. And if the boys do well, that could be 2 scorers above the 60. So I'm really desperately hoping that they will do well. I'm hoping that Giresun will get that game over the line without conceding away from home. I am expecting them to sit back a little bit more and play a bit more defensive, knowing exactly what is at stake. So that is 2 players that I've gone for and purchased. The third player I've purchased is a man that I absolutely loved, a man that I personally wanted to desperately bring into my team as a rare after having used him as a limited for a while and him turning out to be a beast. Okumu, as you guys can see here, was injured for a little while for 2 games for Ghent, and he has now come back in the last game, has been subbed on for 30 minutes, and he's one of their best defensive performance, as you guys can clearly see from their stats. And Ghent, if we look at who they are playing against in that game week, let's jump right over here. Okumu and Ghent are playing not against Club Brugge. That's not eligible. It's in the cup, so don't even think about that. But they are playing against Zulte Waregem, who are currently in the 29 points in the 15th position in the league. And Ghent is fighting to try and push up into the top 4. As you guys might know, the Belgian league splits up into 2 halves here in a bit. Once these games are done, you can see it right here. I think if we move forward on the 10th of April, they have their last match, and then the 1st to the 4th position splits up, plays against each other twice. 5th to 8th plays against each other once, and whoever finishes up top kind of qualifies for the European competitions as well. So Ghent wants to push into that top 4 to try and fight for even higher positions and try and get in there and see what they can achieve. So they have a really, really good reason to try and get in there. And they have one of the best defensive records in the league with having only conceded 27 goals. That is the second best after the league leaders right here. So that is the reason as to why I wanted to go for him, because Okumu is class. It is a bit risky, but I think he is a set starting lineup player with the performances that he has shown this season to be really, really good. Having returned to the last game and playing 30 minutes as a defensive substitute was a good shout for me to go after him again. And his price was coming down lately due to the DNPs. And I thought this is the perfect time to pick him up again. Let's put him into the team. Now, I am pairing him up with a very talented player who's super rare I was about to buy. So I am kind of familiar with this guy. Matisse Samuas, an under 23 player. Again, it doesn't really matter if they're under 23 or not, but his L5 is exactly on 45, as you guys can see. Last game, he didn't play because on that game where he got 63 points, he apparently picked up a yellow card for diving, and that one suspended him for this game against Standard Liège. So he could not play in that matchup, but he is going to be back up for selection again for Ghent, and I fully expect him to play because this young man has kind of pushed into the starting lineup now and is getting more and more minutes, more 90 minutes games here, as you guys can tell here on these great scores as well. So I hope this man can be the one that gets me the high score. I'm considering captaining him and seeing how he does for Ghent in that game that they're up against the 15th place team who have conceded the most goals in the league. So that kind of shows me, after doing my research here, that there's a good chance that Samuas could get another dark green score. That is what I'm going for here. And the next player I've gone for is Ricky van Wolfswinkel. And I will show you guys as to why I've gone for him. So he plays for Twente, as you guys know. Twente is currently in the 5th position, trying to push back into the top 4 ideally. And Twente is going to be playing against Cambuur at home. That is a home game. That is huge. And their top scorer is Van Wolfswinkel with 12 goals. He is the clear top man in that team when it comes to attacking. And for me personally, this is one of those ones. It's either hit or miss, right? You can clearly see here, it's either 60 and above or 25s, 28s, because his all-round game absolutely sucks. So I am banking on the fact that they may get a penalty, they may do something. He has a 61 opponent score. So once again, this one was one of those where I thought, man, I gotta go after this guy. So last game week, he got himself a goal, and I do expect him to go ahead and score against Cambuur as well. So this is the team that I have put together, my friends. And we can now look at it in the concept lineup builder on Sorare data. Huge shout out to them boys once again. Their page is just getting better and better every single time. You can see the floor price for these players right now, right here. So right below my camera, you can see it there, 469. A lineup recent price average though, that's something that you should probably look at more. But then again, with this special weekly, the prices do tend to be inflated a little bit more, especially for these players whose L5s are not up there. So as you can see, the L5s are updated on Sorare data. They will be updated on Sorare itself throughout the day today. But I am thinking about either giving the captaincy to Samuas, hoping that he gets 2 decisives, because for some reason I have a feeling he could. And then, or I could give it to Wolfswinkel, who could easily score at least 1 goal. I just don't know if he has 2 goals in him. That's something I kind of wonder about. So let me go and search for Twente here on Transfermarkt. And let me see if he has ever scored 2 goals in 1 match. That's something I'm personally interested in. So let's see. Van Wolfswinkel, have you done that ever? He has done it against Vitesse recently. But there's not many games in which he gets 2 goal contributions. Okay, he has just done it once, twice he has done it. How about Samuas? I know he has only recently pushed into the starting lineup here for Ghent, but in that time, has he been able to pick up double points at times? Not necessarily, but you can see here he was barred from playing last time around. I don't know, man. My feeling says I should go for captaining Samuas, because his team is just really, really good. And they're fighting for something here. But at the same time, Twente is fighting for a good spot as well. Maybe a regular goal and a penalty. That's what I'm thinking right now. I think the safer option is to go for Van Wolfswinkel. Like, if we want to bet on the guy that gets the highest score, it's probably him. So if we do apply that, you can see that the team itself, the best week this team ever had was 336 points. And that's not bad. It was able to get 328 there, 325 there, 336 there. And they do get around the 250 to 80 range quite often here as well. And these recent weeks, they have been terrible, which is great because their L5 scores have been affected by it. So that really helps me in order to put these teams together. And if we look at showing game weeks without the games, you can see here that a bunch of the lads have not played, which I've kind of used to my advantage at times to go ahead and use these now when their L5s are going to be looking a little bit terrible, to put them into this squad. So I am going for this squad. Let me know in the comments down below who you guys are going for. This is the team that I have put together with the remaining ETH that I already had on the platform. So I didn't put in any more money. I just went with the budget that I had available to me. And I still have some left, so I can make some changes if anything is going to be needed. But that's my choice. Again, this is not financial advice. This is nothing that I'm saying go ahead and do what you want to do. But I think this is not, that was a stupid sentence. This is just me going ahead and showcasing you guys what I'm going for and how I basically went after specific criterias when it comes to these players. These are players that I know of. So Okan Kochuk, I know. Samuas, I have been watching a lot now because of his super rare that I was interested in. Okumu, I already owned. And then Van Wolfswinkel, obviously, I've gone for a player that has a really, really favorable matchup. And I do hope that things are going to... I mean, it's not necessarily a very favorable matchup against the likes of Kambur, but I do think them playing at home, it's going to have an effect because Kambur, if you look at their latest scores here, they've had 4 losses in their last 5 and only just recently turned it around against Sittard, who are only 16th. So I look at that and think Twente is going to be capable of getting things done there. And I'm just genuinely excited for this weekly objective. I just asked the people in the Discord as well, like, how many points do you guys think is going to be required to get into like the top 100? Because if you get into the top 100, you're guaranteed a tier 3 rare. And obviously above that, it's looking great. I personally would rather have, I'm not even joking, I don't know why I'm saying this, but this might be a stupid thing to say, but I personally would rather have a tier 3 rare because I know I can sell that one on than a tier 3 super rares, because super rares do sell quite tough. Like, unless I get like a super young player that I can hold on to and see if he actually turns out to be a decent one, I'd rather go for a tier 3 rare. Might just be me because there's just more liquidity there. But obviously, from the tier 3 rare on, making it into the top 15 would be unbelievable. That would be just unreal. If we can make it in there, that would make for one hell of a video. But guys, that is my punt at the weekly, and my other lineups are going to be coming in later on. I will show you if we have the rewards here from this game week. I don't have my rewards, but I can tell you in the All-Star Rare, we have gathered ourselves 229 points in total after Opta has sorted out the scores. And that means we get ourselves 0.01 ETH, which I will happily take on. Also, another quick little update. Bitcoin, as you can see, in the last few hours, in the last day or two now, has gone up massively. It has been at around a 20% move at a certain time. Right now, as we speak, though, it is a 16.5% move to the upside, and it is currently battling this yellow line right here, which is a very, very pivotal one. If we can surpass these levels right here, that yellow line, and push up, there's nothing that really holds us back from pushing towards the 46,000 on Bitcoin. And that obviously had a massive effect on Ethereum as well. You can see Ethereum going up a lot as well. I think ETH will take a little bit longer. Now everyone's eyes is on Bitcoin, and we'll see what happens. ETH has been up by around 14%, which is great as well. But everyone is kind of looking at Bitcoin and thinking, is it going to break above this? Yes or no? Once it does and it confirms to stay above, like ideally we want to see something like this. We want to see it go up. Wait, why is this not working? We want to see it go up, right? Break through these, come up here, go down, retest the 47K, and then move forward. That's kind of what you want to see some strength in the market. But easily, we could also do this, right? We could do this, hit our head on this, come back down towards the 42, push up again, hit that resistance, come down again, and then push up. Like, there's multiple scenarios, obviously, with the current global situation. No one knows what's going to happen, but there is a little bit of strength shown in the market lately, which is great to see. But yeah, just a little heads up to you guys. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you all. I will catch you on the next one. Let me know your teams in the comments down below, and I wish you guys good luck. This is going to be my team, and I hope it's going to do well. Have a good day. Take care, and peace, my friends. See you next time.